We all like a good villain, don't we guys? But today's video isn't a list of the most popular villains of World of Warcraft. Nah, dude. Today, we are going to cover the most despicable, treacherous, vile, and power-hungry monsters in Warcraft history. This ain't a list of people who were led down a dark path by mistake. There'll be no Arthuses on this list, or Garroshes, or whatever, both of which never did anything wrong, by the way. No, sir. These are characters that were rotten to begin with, and just needed a little nudge to embrace their darker sides. These are the kind of villains that would kill their own mothers if it meant that they could fulfill their deepest, wildest, and nightmarish-ish desires. Yes. These are the kind of baddies that would knife their best friend in the back for $5. And if that wasn't bad enough, these are the kind of monsters that think that randomized legendary drops are a good thing. Guys, these are 10 of the most evil characters of Warcraft. Let's get started, shall we? With number 1. Number 1, Lord Xavius. This dude, man. Oh my god. Lord Xavius was the epitome of an entitled nerd. He would spend all day reading his spell books and performing arcane eye surgery on himself by putting magic rubies into his eye sockets just so that he didn't have to wear glasses. Look it up. But somehow he thought he was superior to the lower-born elves outside of the city. He was a real cosmopolitan elite, let me tell you. Anyway, one day, he starts getting cold called by some guy called Sargeras, who claims to be like a god or something, and he wants Xavius to sign up to his business plan in exchange for great power. And instead of hanging up the magic phone, what does this guy do? This loser signs himself up because he thinks it will win him the affection of his queen. What an absolute beta night elf. Shit. I mean, it's almost as beta as that one guy. That one dude that was imprisoned for 10,000 years because we're not going to talk about him. So him and his buddies start summoning demons into the world to impress Queen Azshara, but it turns out she is more infatuated with his boss, Sargeras, the Chad Titan. Sargeras, he was all like, yeah, I'm a god, I've got an infinite army. Don't need him though because I can cleave planets in half by myself, no biggie. You want to see my colossal sword, Queen Azshara? Check it out. Now you might think, Nixxiom, there's no way she's gonna fall for that. But she did. Dummy. So Lord Xavius figures out that if he can't get the girl, he can at least get the power, and carries on bringing in more demons. And that is until fucking Malfurion Stormrage and his allies blow up Xavius and his tower. But don't worry. He signed up for the Burning Legion life insurance plan, and after being tortured, Sargeras gave him a new body, one that made him look like this. An ugly goat thing. So you think he learned his lesson? Nope. In fact, he becomes even more sadistic and more pompous. And so fucking Malfurion had to turn his ass into a tree and let him sink below the seas. It was there that he finally thought, maybe signing on with that Sargeras guy wasn't such a good idea after all. And then the old gods contact him and promise him revenge, so he becomes the Nightmare Lord. What a petty asshole. At least as the Nightmare Lord, he got to give himself a new and terrifying form. Let's see what he came up with. You fucking kidding me? Number 2, the Dark Prophet Xul. We heard about this guy all the way back in Mists of Pandaria, and in Battle for Azeroth, we finally get to see the old hunchback in flesh and blood, and what a treacherous little rat he was. This guy sat at Rastakon's side, whispering bad advice into his ear, while using his popularity among the Zandalari and his alliance with the Blood Trolls to build an army, which he would eventually use to stage a revolt against his own king. What's impressive, however, is the fact that he managed to do this despite the fact he looks like the most obvious traitor in the entire world. Seriously, this is a Grima Wormtongue type Lord of the Rings situation we got here. The guy has a hunchback, he looks evil, he sounds evil, and he even has the title of the Dark Prophet. How did no one see the guy for what he was before we got there? He was serving another master. It couldn't have been more obvious. And who was this Dark Master? And what did he offer to Zul? A giant grub that had the power to create mold and maybe give you AIDS. Oh, sign me up. Number 3, Cho'gall. Hey, you know, when you're the only smart guy in the class, you grow a little resentful of others. Cho'gall was an ogre born with 2 heads, which in ogre society means he was a genius. In all other societies, it would make him look like a freak show. But clearly, 2 heads are better than 1 in this case. Anyway, Cho'gall came to hate the 70 IQ rulers of Highmaul and claimed that he had a better right to rule because his IQ was in the high 80s and that he was very smart. The city's elite, they told him to take a hike and they sent assassins after him, but they got tired after running for 10 minutes and just gave up. Swearing revenge, Cho'gall set out in pursuit of power that would allow him to murder all of his former classmates. And this is when he met a nice, friendly orc by the name of Gul'dan. This old orc taught Cho'gall all about fell magic and eventually sent him on a mission to investigate a strange group of void-worshipping orcs called the Pale. It was from the Pale that Cho'gall discovered shadow magic and learned of the Hour of Twilight, an edgy, nihilistic, end-of-the-universe type prophecy that, you know, the kid in the back of your classroom probably believes in, but you don't want to talk to him because he's kind of weird and he chews on his pencil and sometimes he like rubs his balls and he sniffs his fingers. After absorbing as much edge as he could, Cho'gall named his new orc friends the Twilight's Hammer Clan. Then, he put on his finest black trench coat and murdered everyone in Highmaul, burning the king alive on his throne. After that, he returned to Gul'dan, and he helped him corrupt the orcs, lead the horde, and genocide some Draenei. Pretty average for this guy now. Things changed once the horde invaded Azeroth, however. Cho'gall and his boys started sensing stronger void magic on the planet, and when they had the chance, they abandoned the horde. They decided to go and hang out with their new best friend, C'Thun, who helped Cho'gall get a sweet six-pack and pecs, but also covered him in eyes and made him lose his mind, or what was left of it. Guys, you just can't cheat those gains. Number 4, Queen Azshara. I don't think there's a character that captures vanity and narcissism in Warcraft as well as Queen Azshara. I think the only person that she really loves is herself. And me, obviously, because I'm so handsome. Azshara, when she lived on land, was so hot that every beta loser, like Xavius, were puppets on strings to her. You know, I would say that she's kind of like an e-thought, except that she actually is a queen. Anyway, this chick was so hungry for power that she thought that she could marry a damn titan. And when that plan came tumbling down, she sunk beneath the waves and she decided to shack up with an old god instead, who transformed her and her people into these scaly, nasty snake fish monsters. Now you would think that becoming a fish serpent thing would humble her a bit more. No, she was just as vain as ever, and her thirsty orbiters still lust after her to this day. You could say that that e-thought became a sea thought. Her story is still ongoing, so who knows where her unchecked pride will take her. She's already a monster both physically and mentally, so can it really get much worse? Maybe she'll be fished up by some lowly explorer off the coast of Stranglethorn by accident. That might be embarrassing for her. It might humble her a little bit, but we'll have to wait to find out. Number 5, Kel'Thuzad. The Lich King had many servants, but that's because most of them were raised from the dead and bound to his iron will. But Kel'Thuzad wasn't forced into service. He chose to serve. All it took was for the Lich King to start sending him telepathic text messages saying, "Hey buddy, come on over to Icecrown and I'll show you my necromancy." and Kel'Thuzad packed his bags and headed for the frozen lands of Northrend to satisfy his morbid curiosity. When he returned, he set up his own cult and started contaminating his countrymen's food with the plague of undeath. This sneaky old man was probably shuffling his way into villages and dropping strange vials down into the wells. How did no one catch him? So after some time, people caught on to this creepy old man with the giant skull on his head, and he was put down by Prince Arthas of Lordaeron, and that was pretty much the end of Kel'Thuzad. But it wasn't. It was actually just the beginning. The same prince that executed him later became the champion of the Lich King and resurrected Kel'Thuzad as a powerful lich. This guy literally cheated death. We confronted Kel'Thuzad in World of Warcraft in his citadel of Nixxiom. We defeated him and took his phylactery, but since Kel'Thuzad is a lich and his phylactery was never destroyed, he returned in Nixxiom 2, Necrotic Boogaloo. Yes. Now, being a smart guy, he learned from his mistakes, and this time, he didn't keep his phylactery in his pocket, and he must have hid it somewhere good because we never found it. So, is Kel'Thuzad still around? I don't know. Do you know? We haven't heard from him for some time. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. But for now, Azeroth seems to be safe from the creepy old floating skeleton. Number 6. Archimonde. Before joining the Burning Legion, Archimonde was a leader of the Eredar people and a skilled mage. Wait a second. Archimonde, Xavius, Azshara, Cho'gall, and Kel'Thuzad, they're all mages. I thought it was the warlocks that were the evil ones. This video is quickly turning into a list of why you shouldn't trust mages. Anyway, Archimonde was one of the original 3 leaders of the Eredar, but he always dreamed of more power. Of course, one day the opportunity presented itself when our boy Sargeras showed up offering the Eredar guys a deal. Sargeras likes to make deals. The guy's like a cosmic salesman. Hey there, would you like to sign up for the Burning Crusade? Better not say no, otherwise I'll kill you. Now, Archimonde was the first of the Eredar to accept Sargeras' offer, becoming known as the Defiler, as he destroyed countless worlds across the universe. Now, of course, being lustful by nature, Archimonde still craved more power, enough to become a god equal in might to Sargeras. Now, he tried to accomplish this on Azeroth by mounting the World Tree. Don't ask me what he was thinking, that's just how he rolls. It didn't work out for him in the end, as the absolute mad lad, fucking Malfurion, tooted his horn and summoned a giant army of wisps from the forest to completely obliterate the tree molester. And that, my friends, that was the end of Archimonde, because nobody gives a damn about his appearance in Warlords of Draenor. Number 7, Kil'jaeden, aka Satan. Just look at him. You can't have Archimonde on a list of Warcraft evildoers without his far more interesting counterpart, Kil'jaeden. Kil'jaeden the Deceiver. As power-hungry as Archimonde, accepted Sargeras' offer without a second thought and became the Dark Titan's second in command, and was one of Warcraft's most persistent villains. This guy was responsible for so many schemes he could make the old gods jealous, let me tell you. The corruption of the orcs? That was Kil'jaeden. He accomplished that just by dressing up as some orc's dead wife. He can shapeshift, okay? He didn't just put on a dress and wear a wig. But even then, would orcs really even be able to tell the difference? The Lich King? Made by Kil'jaeden. Now granted, that didn't quite work out for him in his favor, but hey, you win some and you lose some. We still got the frickin' Lich King. Badass. This guy is responsible for swelling the ranks of the Burning Legion and subverting entire planets, but his pet project was hunting down the last of the Eredar, who refused to submit to the Legion, a grudge that he held for thousands of years. You talk about a pretty spiteful guy. Now, in his final moments, Kil'jaeden confessed to his nemesis that actually, he was just jealous. That's why he did what he did. But I don't believe it. It's a lie. You didn't do all the bad things you did because you were jealous. You did it because you were a power-hungry maniac. You can't deceive me, deceiver. I know you're not really dead. No one in Warcraft is really dead. Look at Shadowlands. No one's dead. And as for that blast in the cinematic, that blast came from inside the spaceship. It was a controlled demolition, and you are not gonna fool me. Yeah. Number 8. You. That's right, you. You right there, sitting there watching this video. Yes, you, dear player, you are on this list. Now, why, you ask? Come on now. Let's be honest. Are you really any better than the other people on this list? Are you? You desire power too, don't you? Every expansion, it's the same thing. Get more gear, increase those stats, do more damage, and become more powerful. Okay? Let me give you a hypothetical. Okay? Let's say you're playing a new expansion. You come across a quest giver. He's offering a green weapon reward that's 10 item levels higher than your current weapon. It could last you until max level at least, maybe even until you're clearing heroics. But the catch is, the quest giver wants you to confirm that Medan is canon.
Can you do it?
Can you? Is the allure of power too great for you? It's a simple request. You just have to click yes, and you'll have the weapon in your hands. Or do you have the will to overcome such evil? Oh no, man. It's a damn good upgrade. Number 9, the old gods. That's right, all of them. C'Thun, N'Zoth, Yogurt Strap-On, Yrsha-Malazars, or whatever others there might be that I can't pronounce. These eldritch horrors are imprisoned beneath the surface of Azeroth, but you'll find that despite being locked up, they seem to have had a hand in every single calamity that Azeroth experiences. The Cataclysm? That was them. The Naga? That was them too. We already talked about it. The Emerald Nightmare? Talked about that one too. You better believe that was them. And why did they do it? Well, if you believe the Chronicle, it's because they were sent by the Void Lords to corrupt the Titan world soul at the heart of Azeroth. But guys, if you ask me, it's because they're dicks. They don't seem to be serving any higher masters. It just looks like they get pleasure from watching people go mad and murder each other. They're a bunch of chaotic evil monsters. Hell, the only reason they even work together is because they are locked up in prison. They don't even have loyalty to each other. If N'Zoth could be the sole master of the world, he would be. And the same goes for all the others. Yet somehow, people still willingly serve them. Azeroth is just filled with idiots. Maybe that's how the old gods keep managing to infiltrate every kingdom on the planet. Everyone on the planet is just dumb. Yeah. And finally, number 10. Come on, guys. Who you think it is? I know you already know. Who is the most backstabbing, self-serving, treacherous, scheming, power-hungry maniac in Warcraft history? It's Gul'dan. Of course it's Gul'dan. Gul'dan, the self-titled Darkness incarnate, may not be the most powerful on this list, but I don't think there's a character quite as vile as he is. In his youth, Gul'dan was bullied by the bigger orcs in his tribe, probably because he kept talking about his weird demonic fetishes, and they thought he was a freak, and so they cast him out. Now, he was such a twisted loser that even the elements of Draenor were like, fuck that, and they recoiled from him. But that's when he met his new friend, XXX Kil'jaeden XX, on an online forum, who said he also shared Gul'dan's weird interests and taught him all about fel magic. And with that, Gul'dan returned home to murder everyone that he once knew. Jesus, Gul'dan! They wouldn't have bullied you if you had just stopped talking about how much you wanted to swallow the Pit Lord fluid. Anyway, you guys kind of know the rest from here. Gul'dan tricked the orcs into demonic slavery, genocided multiple races, invaded Azeroth, and then selfishly abandoned the Horde to seek more power and was ripped apart by demons for it. No loyalty, no honor, just pure self-serving ambition and malice. And that's the Gul'dan that we all love for some reason. Oh, hey, maybe his alternate version will have better luck with his pursuit of power. Oh, never mind. Guys, that was a list of the 10 most evil characters in Warcraft history. What'd you think? Are there any that you can think of that didn't make it into the video? Leave a comment and let me know. And do not forget to thumb up the video and subscribe to help the channel out. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's a quest for a weapon upgrade that I need to complete. So, I'll see ya.